Very good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the S101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I'm Jed Abdin. We start off with a look at your headlines.
News First headline.
In headlines, Supreme Court to consider petition by Gamage. Investigation ordered into Sirisena's statement on Easter attacks. Running to inform SLPP on next poll next month. Ukraine says it repulsed Russian bid to cross border. And in sports, defending triathlon champion Flora Duffy in race against time. And now your news in detail. In local news, the Supreme Court has scheduled a hearing for the petition filed by former State Minister Diana Gamage seeking to annul her expulsion from the Samagi Janabalawegaya. The hearing is set for the 28th of this month. Today, the petition was called before a bench of judges comprising Gamini Amarasekara, Kumudini Vikramasinghe and Mahinda Samyawardena. Given that the Supreme Court previously ruled on Diana Gamage's status as a Member of Parliament on the 8th, President's Counsel Faisal Mustafa, appearing for the ex-State Minister, informed the court that he would provide details on the next steps related to the petition after thorough examination of the ruling. He requested approximately 3 weeks for this process. President's Counsel Faiz Mustafa, appearing for the respondents, argued that since the Supreme Court had already determined Diana Gamage's unfitness for the parliamentary position, there was no need to proceed with the petition. The petitioner contends that her expulsion resulted from allegations by a group including the General Secretary of the Samagi Janabalawegaya, accusing her of supporting the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. She asserts the lack of a reasonable disciplinary investigation violated the legal principle of natural justice. And in more local news, Maliga Kandar Magistrate Lochani Abe Vikrama has issued an order for the Criminal Investigation Department to investigate the statement made by former President Maithripala Sirisena regarding the Easter Sunday attacks. The directive aims to determine whether any criminal offence has been committed. The case was brought before the Maliga Kandra Magistrates Court today, where the CID informed the court that they are concurrently investigating complaints filed by Member of Parliament Kavinda Jayawardena and civil rights movement related to this incident. Attorney at Law Rajat Lakmal, representing MP Kavinda Jayawardena, representing MP Kavinda Jayawardena highlighted that during the hearing of fundamental rights petitions before the Supreme Court concerning the Easter attack, ex-President Maithripala Sirisena was found guilty and he continues to pay compensation to the petitioners. The lawyer urged the court to thoroughly examine the veracity of Sirisena's statement. He noted that if it is determined that he provided false information or concealed relevant facts, he may be held accountable under the Penal Code for violating public justice. This case is scheduled to be revisited on the 26th July. And moving on to more local news, founder of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Basil Rajapaksa said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe will inform the SLPP if a presidential election or general election will be held next on or before the 18th June or once the Indian Lok Sabha concludes. When asked what was discussed during the meeting that took place yesterday, the former minister said he was attending the annual meeting, adding that an election will be held on or before the 18th June or after the Indian election. Replying to claims on the president's stance on the election will be informed to the SLPP. The National Election Commission said Sri Lanka's presidential election will be held between the 17th September and 16th October 2024. The authority to announce the election date and call nominations for the presidential election will be transferred to the Election Commission after the 17th July. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Sagar Karyawasam too commented on this matter. Up next is international news.
International news.
In international news, Ukraine says it has repelled a Russian armed attack in the northeastern Kharkiv region after Moscow's forces launched an incursion across the border and sought to break through defensive lines. Kharkiv regional head The Kharkiv regional head rather said Russian groups had tried to penetrate the border, adding that not a single meter has been lost. The local head in Wongshanks said the town had come under heavy attack from the early hours of Friday and civilians were being evacuated. Up next is your update on sports.
Sports news.
And in sports, Olympic triathlon champion Flora Duffy returns after an 18-month injury layoff this weekend, but faces a race against time to be ready to defend her own crown in Paris. The 36-year-old became Bermuda's first gold medalist in a comprehensive win at the Tokyo Games, but a knee injury has kept her from competing since she won a second successive world title in late 2022. She lines up on Saturday in Yokohama as the 2024 World Triathlon Championship Series makes a delayed start after the season's first event in Abu Dhabi was cancelled because of stormy weather. With that, we wrap up this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I'm Jad Abdin. Thank you for watching. Good night and take care.